So the first year you acquire the asset, you can claim initial allowance, and this initial allowance boleh claim sekali je, one off, sekali je Okay, so acquire and own the asset during the basis period. Okay, yang first ni memang generally macam tu awak untuk semua jenis capital allowance, acquire and own during the basis period. Okay, so yang second one, acquire. Okay, you acquire the non-current asset tapi dispose the asset during the basis period. Okay, so where a person has incurred qualifying expenditure during the basis period for year of assessment, and this person dia dah beli, dia dispose. Okay, so the dispose of the asset during the basis period. Okay, the asset is used for the purpose of his business prior to disposal. Okay, untuk initial allowance, so once awak dah beli je, awak guna sampai akhir tahun pun still you can claim for initial allowance. So both awak own and use in the business. Dua-dua lah, acquire and own, and then one acquire and dispose. So this one initial allowance. Okay, so the second, okay, kejap. Okay, so kita tengok pula on ownership of an asset. Okay, so biasanya kan kalau awak beli, awak akan jadi owner. Okay, but this situation ada dua situation of ownership. Okay, so kita tengok capital allowance shall be given to a person who own the asset and use them for carrying on the business. Okay, so ini adalah syarat-syarat condition daripada awal tadi kan. Okay, but for ownership tu, we have two types of ownership. The first one, beneficial owner. Okay, so beneficial owner, person who actually incurred the QE, who had, okay, orang ni orang yang beli, who has paid for the asset. Okay, so dia adalah proven dia ada books, record, ada receipt, invoice dan sebagainya lah. Okay, itu beneficial owner. But the other types of ownership, legal owner. Okay, legal owner, person whose name in the asset is registered or recorded. Okay, this one certificate for registration of motor vehicle, warranty certification for a machine. Okay, so for this person, dia guna nama je. Okay, dia guna nama je. So contohnya macam kereta kan, kereta tu atas nama siapa? Warranty ataupun warranty for the machine atas nama siapa? So orang ni sometimes not necessary dia bayar. Okay. Okay, so dia tak bayar tapi legally since nama dia ada atas aset tu, so dia adalah owner juga. So kita panggil dia as legal owner. Okay, so contohnya kat situ, Kenny purchase a lorry in basis year 2020 and registered in the name of Kudus. Okay, so the lorry is used by Kenny in carrying on business carrying on his transportation business. Okay, so Kenny may claim capital allowance as he incurred the QE. Okay, so yang ni, okay, then second one kita tengok as this one. Okay, second one, asset used by legal owner but expenditure incurred by beneficial owner. Okay, where the beneficial owner incurred the QE, asset registered and used for the purpose of business of legal owner. Okay, no capital allowance can be claimed by both. Okay, this one example, Catherine purchased an asset and registered in the name of Ken. Okay, then asset is used by Ken for purpose of business. So for this one, no capital allowance to be given to both of them. Okay, apa beza dengan Kenny tadi? Apa beza dengan yang first one?
Yang first one, capital allowance dapat kan?
Dapat. So this one, nama yang digunakan, nama registered orang lain tapi orang yang beli, orang tu guna dalam bisnes dia. Qualifying expenditure tu diguna dalam bisnes dia. But untuk second situation, orang yang beli lain, atas nama orang lain, Catherine, registered atas nama Kenny dan Kenny yang guna. The legal owner yang guna. So in this situation, dua-dua tak dapat. Okay, Catherine incurred QE but not use the asset in the business. Ken pula guna in the business tapi dia tak incurred. Okay, so yang tadi Kenny yang beli dan dia guna in the business. So nampak beza kelas? So legal ownership and beneficiary ownership. Okay, so siapa yang incurred dan dia guna in the business, orang tu yang dapat claim of capital allowance. Alright, boleh follow kat situ?
Boleh.
Okay.
Eh,
Okay, so this is the second types of capital allowance. Tadi awak tengok on initial allowance, so this one annual allowance. So kalau nama dia annual maksudnya?
Tiap-tiap tahun boleh claim.
Okay, betul. Tiap-tiap tahun awak boleh claim. Rather than the initial tadi, sekali je awak boleh claim masa tahun awak beli. So in annual allowance, you can claim for every year. Okay, so dengan syarat lah incurred QE in relation to the asset and at the end of the basis period for the year of assessment. So dia incurred and dia own sampai end of year of assessment. Okay, so dengan syarat lah he was the owner and the asset was in use for the purpose of business. Okay, the owner dia guna dalam business dia dan dia guna sampai end of the basis period. Okay, so given annual allowance at the following prescribed rate for office equipment, furniture and fittings. So the rate for annual allowance is 10%, plant and machinery 14%, heavy machinery and motor vehicle 20%, and for computers 20%. Okay, apa beza plant and machinery and heavy machinery tu? Kalau macam dia kata air conditioner tu akan masuk under mana? Which one?
Plan.
Plant and machinery 14%. Kalau heavy machinery? So heavy machinery tu yang biasanya memang yang besar, yang kalau awak tengok kat jalan tu bulldozer, yang tu yang besar-besar. Okay, so dikira heavy machinery. So that one is the AA 20%. Okay, so kita boleh tengok kat bawah ni, kategori dia air conditioner for plant and machinery, it is a general plant and machinery not falling under category of heavy. So air conditioner, compressor, elevator, medical and laboratory equipment. So this one oven juga termasuk under general. For the heavy, determined generally by the usage of nature of usage, bulldozer, crane, ditcher lah apa semua ni. Okay, so this is heavy machinery. And motor vehicle lah, inilah yang awak tengok ni, motorcycle, aircraft, ship, bicycle, motorized bicycle. So this one fall under motor vehicle, which is the annual allowance is 20%. Okay, so yang ni awak kena ingat ni kelas, saya rasa tak, yang ni yang commonly use lah, awak patut boleh ingat. Walaupun nanti dalam exam dia akan bagi. Okay, next on accelerated capital allowance. Okay, the rate is 20%. Okay, so accelerated ni dia macam specific tau. Okay, resident person incurred QE for the purchase of any of the following information and communication technology equipment. Okay, so dia fokus pada information and communication technology equipment. So boleh tengok kat situ, access control system for banking system, barcode, cable and connectors, computer assist design computer. Okay, so this one relates dengan communication technology equipment. Okay, so ada public ruling kat sini, boleh go further. Okay, and the rate is 20%, and also for the development cost for customized computer software. So satu on telecommunication, satu on computer software, the rate is 20%. Okay, so this one consultation fee, payment for rights of software, ownership, incidental fee to development of customized computer software, cost in the production of new software, cost incurred in the improvement of the existing software. Okay, deemed to be incurred in the basis period for a year of assessment on which the customized computer software is capable of being used. Okay, ni pun sama lah, the words deem tadi, capable of being used in the purpose of business person business. Okay, capable. Okay, ayat yang sama lah, deem tu tadi. Awak tak gunakan dia lagi, tapi deem tu. Okay, so example, KK Samburaha, assessment to 31st December annually, a resident company started business in 2016. The company developed a new computer software in 2018 and completed the development of the software in February 2020. The entire development cost 2018 to 2020 is deemed to be incurred in March 2020. Okay, claim capital allowance on year assessment 2020. Okay, kenapa kelas saya year assessment 2020 baru awak boleh claim? Example ni? Kenapa 2020 baru dia boleh claim for capital allowance?
Sebab masa 2020 dia dah complete the development.
Okay, 2020 baru complete development of the system tu complete. So daripada awal tu dia just baru develop kan. Daripada awal baru develop. So that's why in the period of development kita tak claim lagi capital allowance, dan completed. Once completed baru awak claim capital allowance. So this why dia kata deem to be incurred. Okay, next kita go further on asset with lifespan not more than 2 years. Okay. Okay, so lifespan not more than 2 years ni masih lagi kategori non-current asset ke? Kalau non-current asset awak more than 1 years kan? But this one only not more than 2 years. So dia antara ya ke tak ya? Okay, so untuk macam ni kita tak nak susah-susahkan fikir nak masuk non-current asset ke tak. So kalau awak tahu memang asset awak lifespan only 2 years and less, so it is to be dealt with the replacement basis. So kalau under replacement basis, no IA or AA is to be allowed. So kiranya kita tak claim lah capital allowance untuk asset jenis ni. Okay, kita tak allow IA dan AA. Okay, so cost incurred is not regarded as QE. Okay, shall be allowed as deductible expenses under section 33. Okay, so kalau under section 33, this one is actually revenue expenditure. Okay, so awak sure tak sure? Okay, lebih baik kita jadikan dia terus expenses Sebab kalau awak nak jadikan dia capital allowance, nanti leceh awak nak kena kira setiap tahun kan. Okay, any income received from disposal treated as income of the business. Okay, so this one macam banyaklah company-company yang asset dia less than 2 years. Okay, contohnya macam restoran. Okay, macam pinggan-pinggan, mangkuk, cutlery tu semua pun dianggap sebagai aset yang less than 2 years. So setiap kali replacement, awak just masukkan replacement tu dalam SOCI under expenses. So this is allowable expenses. Okay, next small value asset. Okay, and the public ruling 2021. Okay, this one barulah ni kelas kalau awak tengok 2021 public ruling yang ketiga untuk 2021. Nanti awak boleh check lah. Okay, so for the small value asset with lifespan more than 2 years. Okay, yang tadi asset less than 2 years kan. Okay, so untuk asset yang ni more than 2 years and the value not exceeding 2,000. Okay, total amount claimed for a year of assessment is capped at 20,000 except for SME company. Okay, so this one, kan tadi kita kira IA lah, AA semua kan. But for this small value asset, which the value of the asset not exceeding 2,000. Okay, so cara untuk awak claim the capital allowance dia, awak terus ambil total amount claim for year of assessment. Okay, so tahun awak beli, awak terus boleh tolak dia punya capital allowance at total amount. So semuanya. Okay, tahun pasal tahun awak beli. Okay, except for SME company. Okay, so yang ni berbeza dengan yang tadi. So still masih lagi under capital allowance tapi lifespan dia more than 2 years, sorry. Okay. So setakat ni faham ke kelas small value asset?
Faham.
Faham Contohnya kalau awak beli aircon tu harga dia 1,500 je. So untuk 1,500 ni it is considered as small value asset, dan for this 1,500 ni kita boleh claim semua pada tahun awak beli tu. Awak terus boleh claim dia capital allowance, small value asset 1,500 terus tolak tahun pertama. So that one small value asset. Next kita nak tengok SME. Okay, SME ni actually kita dah cover hari tu dalam topik apa? Dividend tu kan, topik 12. Operated in Malaysia, not exceeding, capital not exceed 2.5, gross income not more than 50 million. Okay, ni awak dah tengok, does not apply. Ni pun sama dalam topik dividend tu, 50% of the paid-up capital respect of foreign share owned by company, directly or indirect by company. Lepas tu ni pun sama, directly or indirectly by SME. Okay, so sama, nanti boleh baca sendiri SME tu apa. Okay, for capital allowance. Okay, now sekarang kita tengok eligibility of criteria. So, apa beza antara IA dan AA? Okay, dua-dua sama eligibility criteria dia include QE, use in the business. Okay, tapi syarat yang last, own the asset at the end of basis period. Okay, tapi for initial allowance not necessary. Not necessary awak own the asset sampai end of the period, tapi need to use it prior to disposal. Okay, so even untuk awak jual, awak still boleh claim initial allowance. Tapi untuk annual allowance, tahun awak jual, awak tak boleh claim annual allowance. Okay, rate 20% on all category. Okay, but for annual allowance, different. Ada 10%, 14, 20 and 100%. Yang 100% ni apa kelas? Apa tiba-tiba ada 100% ni? Tadi kita tengok 14, 10 dengan 20 kan? Tiba-tiba ada 100% ni. Okay, 100% ni untuk apa?
Small value asset tu.
Okay, betul. Untuk small value asset. Tahun pertama awak boleh terus claim all 100%. Okay, year of claim. Claim once untuk initial allowance. Claim once in a lifetime of the asset. Okay, in the basis year, qualifying expenditure is incurred. Okay, tahun awak beli, tahun awak acquire the non-current asset, awak dah boleh claim initial allowance. Okay, for annual allowance, you can claim annually. Okay, from basis year, the qualifying expenditure until fully claim of dispose, whichever come first. Okay, so sampai bila kita nak claim annual allowance ni? Sampai bila? Kan kita kata annually. So sampai bila? Sampai expenditure awak QE ni fully claim. Okay, sampai bila habis tu awak punya balance is zero, ataupun sampai awak dispose, whichever come first. Okay, so following class. Kalau let's say lah awak kata awak claim annual allowance tu 20%, then initial allowance awak 20%, maksudnya annual allowance awak boleh claim sampai berapa tahun? Tahun pertama claim IA, initial allowance and AA. Tahun kedua boleh claim AA, tahun ketiga boleh claim AA, tahun keempat boleh claim AA. Sampai berapa tahun tu?
5.
5 ke 4?
4.
4 kan? Tahun pertama IA awak 20 dengan AA 20 dah 40% kat situ. Okay. Tahun kedua AA 20%, tahun ketiga AA 20%, tahun keempat AA 20%. So by tahun keempat actually dah fully claim. Habis dah awak claim. So dah tak boleh claim lagi. Okay, so now kita go to the next on balancing allowance and balancing charge. Okay, so for the balancing allowance and balancing charge ni only appear, awak akan jumpa dia when disposing the qualifying asset during the basis period or a year of assessment. So kalau awak disposekan your non-current asset, then only kita akan identify lah your whether from the disposal tu you get the balancing allowance or balancing charge. Okay, so what are the balancing allowance, balancing charge? The difference between disposal price and the residual expenditure. Okay, apa dia residual expenditure ni? Okay, tahu residual expenditure ni adalah awak claim daripada awak punya qualifying expenditure. Lepas tu awak tolak, kalau tahun pertama tolak initial allowance and annual allowance. So baki dia tu awak akan dapat residual expenditure. Okay, lepas tu residual expenditure tahun pertama tolak annual allowance tahun kedua. Okay, awak akan dapat juga residual expenditure untuk tahun kedua. So baki setelah awak tolak capital allowance, awak dapat residual expenditure. Okay, so kita nak tahu whether dapat balancing allowance, balancing charge. Okay, it is difference between disposal price and residual expenditure. Okay, so perbezaan tu kita akan dapat sebagai balancing allowance or balancing charge. So balancing charge, okay, so balancing charge adalah gain on disposal, meaning that your disposal value is more than residual expenditure. Awak disposekan harga lebih tinggi daripada nilai baki aset awak tu. So you get the gain. So gain ni namanya balancing charge. Okay, then for balancing allowance, it is loss on disposal. So awak dispose your non-current asset less than residual expenditure. Okay, so setakat ni faham? Ada tak example dalam buku? Okay. Dalam buku ada Kevin tu kelas. Buku surat 221.
Madam,
Ya.
tak fahamnya residual expenditure tu tadi. Macam mana?
Kejap boleh tengok. Okay, kalau sekejap. Saya tengok contoh, ada tak contoh yang ada residual yang dah kira? Okay, muka surat 221 tu. Okay, muka surat 221. Okay, residual expenditure tu, jumpa tak?
Nampak.
Okay, dalam formula bawah tu, awak qualifying plan expenditure, that one cost non-current asset awak termasuk segala-gala initial cost dia, incidental cost. Okay, so awak dapat A. Lepas dapat A, dan tahun tu awak boleh claim initial allowance. Awak kiralah at 20% kalikan dengan cost of awak qualifying expenditure awak tu. Dan juga in annual allowance, let's say awak beli heavy machinery, 20% juga. Okay, so from qualifying plan expenditure less dengan initial allowance and annual allowance. Okay, kalau ada notional ni biasanya tak adalah if relevant kan. So baki dia awak dapat residual. Okay tak kat situ?
National allowance tu macam mana, Madam?
National allowance tu sama ada annual allowance ataupun national allowance. National allowance ni kita akan claim kalau aset tu awak tak guna in your business. Okay, mungkin aset tu bukan awak tak nak guna, dia rosak ke apa kan. Awak nak guna tapi tak boleh nak guna. So selagi dia masa temporary disuse, kita claim national allowance. Nak menunjukkan yang value of asset tu akan reduce juga walaupun awak tak gunakan dia in business. So sama ada awak claim annual allowance or national annual allowance. Okay. So normally kita gunalah, kalau awak guna memang you fulfill all the condition, awak guna, awak boleh claim annual allowance. So from qualifying plan expenditure, less dengan initial, less juga dengan annual. Okay, ini tahun pertama sebab ada initial, ini tahun pertama. So kalau let's say kita tak ada national allowance, awak terus dapat residual. Kalau ada pun sama jugalah, kalau ada pun sama kena tolak juga, awak akan dapatkan residual. Okay, tahun pertama. Untuk tahun kedua, from residual expenditure, initial allowance dah tak ada. Awak akan tolak dengan annual allowance sahaja dan awak akan dapat residual juga. Okay, so residual ni adalah nilai baki setelah awak tolak capital allowance. Okay, dan dia akan makin lama makin reduce lah your residual expenditure tu. Alright, follow tak kat situ? Faham ke?
Follow.
Okay. So kita tengok contoh dekat bawah tu, contoh untuk balancing allowance and balancing charge. Okay, example, Kelvin disposed of an office equipment in March 2021 for 4,000. The residual expenditure of office equipment as 31st March 2020 was 5,000. Okay, so meaning that tak tahulah dia dispose tahun bila, tapi ini bukan tahun pertama lah kelas. Okay, kita tak tahu berapa kos dia. So, okay, so okay, apa yang kita nak buat? Okay, awak boleh tengok kat situ. Balancing allowance tak tahu. Okay, tapi awak ada balancing, capital allowance tak tahu. Okay, awak ada balancing allowance of 1,000. Mana dapat 1,000 ni? Okay, kat bawah tu dia tunjukkan kat awak So, disposal value dia 4,000. Awak less dengan residual expenditure of 5,000. Okay, so awak dapat balancing allowance of 1,000. So, nampaklah kat situ awak punya nilai baki 5,000 tapi awak jual harga 4,000. So, awak kerugian kat situ 1,000. So 1,000 ni kat mana kita nak letak? Okay, kalau awak tengah kira adjusted income of the company, okay, so lepas dapat adjusted income less capital allowance less dengan balancing allowance. Kalau awak dapat balancing charge, awak tambah. Okay, so dan akhirnya awak nak kira your statutory business income ni. Okay, kalau macam mana cara kalau untuk dapatkan balancing charge untung kan? Okay, so contoh kat bawah tu, if the asset disposed of Kevin in March 2021 was 5,800, okay, instead of 4,000, the relevant adjustment, okay, apa yang awak dapat is balancing charge 800. So macam mana balancing charge 800? Okay, awak punya value 5,000, residual value awak 5,000, dispose awak harga lebih tinggi 5,800, then awak dapat balancing charge. Okay, kalau balancing charge kat mana letaknya untuk dapatkan statutory income? Okay, from your adjusted income, add. For balancing charge awak kena tambah, add. Okay. Okay, kalau ada capital allowance dan lain-lain, awak proceed lah. Then you akan dapat statutory income awak kat situ. Okay, so apa yang kita kira ni sebenarnya dia akan relate dengan apa yang awak buat semalam. Okay, apa yang awak semalam sampai dapat statutory, sampai dapat adjusted, kita kena campur atau tolak item-item relevan dengan capital allowance ni. So, awak akan tolak capital allowance sendiri, balancing allowance, dan kalau awak dapat balancing charge, awak akan tambah sampailah ending kita sebenarnya dapat statutory business income. Okay, faham ke kat situ? Faham ke kelas?
Faham, madam.
Faham. Okay, ada satu lagi kat bawah ni, balancing charge. Okay, balancing charge adalah keuntungan yang awak dapat gain made on a person in relation to an asset shall not exceed the total of all allowances made to him in relation to the asset. Okay, apa yang dia semua cerita ni, kita tengok example kat bawah ni ni example penuh dah ni. Kintas yang berhad financial year end 31st December 2021 dispose a machinery for 30,000 in July 2021. Okay, details were as follow. Okay, cost of machinery acquired in March 2018, 25,000. Residual expenditure as at 1st January 2021. Okay, so soalan ni dia tak cerita macam mana dia dapat 15,000, tapi daripada 2018 sehingga nak sampaikan 2021, dia ada claim initial allowance, dia ada claim annual allowance. So kalau awak rajin, awak kira lah balik. Okay, so daripada 2018 ke 2000, terus dia straight away ke 2021. By 2021 dia dah ada residual expenditure 15,000. Dah tinggal 15,000 lah setelah dia tolak initial and annual. Okay, so boleh follow ke kat situ? Dia tak tunjuk pun cara nak kira. Dia terus bagi awak amount of residual expenditure of 15,000. Okay, the amount of balancing charge to be added to the adjusted business income of the company shall be, Okay, let's say dia jual pada harga 30,000 and awak less dengan residual expenditure awak 15,000. So you get balancing charge. Awak dapat gain kat sini 15,000. Okay, so balancing charge to be restricted. Okay, kenapa restricted 10,000? Okay, kenapa restricted 10,000? Awak tengok kat atas balik, cost dia beli, cost of the machinery 25,000 and residual expenditure dia 15,000. Meaning that selama-lama daripada 2018 ke 2021 dia dah claim and capital allowance sebanyak 10,000. Okay, so awak boleh nampak lah kan the qualifying plan expenditure less dengan residual expenditure, awak dapatlah the difference of 10,000. So, itu adalah actual capital allowance yang dia claim. Okay, but now from the disposal, dia dapat balancing charge ataupun dia dapat gain of 15,000. Okay, so walaupun from your calculation you get gain of 15,000, but since the capital allowance claim only 10,000, so that's why dia kata balancing charge to be restricted to total allowance claim of 10,000. Okay, faham ke kelas?
Faham.
So in the case awak dapat balancing charge, okay, berapa banyak balancing charge yang awak dapat, berapa banyak untung yang awak dapat, awak kena balik semula, patah balik, tengok balik berapa banyak actual capital allowance yang awak claim. So capital allowance ni termasuklah IA, initial allowance, and also AA. Kira balik. So berapa banyak yang awak dapat, it must only restricted to berapa banyak capital allowance claim. Okay, follow So kalau follow, okay, disposal value deemed to be zero. Macam mana pula awak boleh kata disposal value awak zero? Okay, disposal value is the market value when the asset disposed. Okay, so kalau zero sebenarnya awak main bagi je. Awak biasanya kalau awak jual, awak dapat sell proceed kan, awak banyak harga jualan. But in this situation, awak just bagi gift je. So kalau awak bagi gift kepada 3 situation ni, technical or vocational training institute, technical or vocational approved by the minister ataupun approved research institution, the disposal shall be taken as zero. Okay, dan dia kata disposal tu tak semestinya awak jual ada macam-macam cara. Awak bagi gift tadi pun disposal. Okay, awak sold discard or destroy scissors to be used for purpose of business. So ini semua adalah situation as disposal. Kalau aset tu masih elok dan awak tak nak guna lagi dalam bisnes awak, itu pun disposal. Okay. Okay, awak punya masa ni sampai pukul berapa Awak ada kelas tak lepas ni?
Ada.
Ada kelas. So sekarang pukul berapa?
Pukul 11.
Pukul 11 dah.
10.38.
10.38. So kalau macam tu kita kena break sekarang lah kot. Nanti awak tak sempat pula nak break. Okay. Kita nak sambung je. Tak apalah bagi awak